Hey guys, Balkim here, and lately I've seen a lot of people making barreled puzzles, so today I'm going to show you how to take a normal 3x3 and turn it into a 3x3 barrel. Okay, so the first thing that I do is I go over to this pretty dirty table, and I set down both of my glom lungs and I pick up this Sharpie. So what you want to do is you want to draw a line going from kind of each of the corners. I'm going to show this later. Basically, so you have kind of like an octagon shape on the yellow and the white face. And you can do this for any side, but I just choose these so it can be the top and bottom, kind of like a normal cube. So I have now disassembled the puzzle and I'm preparing to put super glue on the pieces. Basically, this just keeps them from falling out when I cut through them, and it's just another precaution that's pretty easy to do, and it just saves a lot of time later. So after you've super glued all the pieces, you want to tighten up the cube so it doesn't turn while you're cutting into it. You also want to take off all the stickers except for the top and bottom side so you can see where you're cutting. You now want to take a Dremel or saw or some other cutting tool and you want to cut along the lines of the cube vertically. Basically, you just want to cut it so it turns into an octagonal kind of barrel shape. Now you can use just a normal Dremel bit, or I have a kind of a circular cutting one here, but any will work perfectly fine. I forgot to mention this earlier, but definitely wear eye protection and some sort of mask so the plastic doesn't get in your eyes or on your lungs. Also, on a side note, the plastic kept getting on my arms and it was kind of burning because it was almost melting. After the puzzle is cut, it should look something similar to this. After cutting, there is some plastic hanging off the piece on some of the pieces, so I just glued them down so they wouldn't fall out. I then took some sandpaper and smoothed down the jagged edges. This wouldn't be the final sanding, and I just wanted it flat enough so I can fill the pieces with some epoxy sculpt. Now it is time for the filling. You are going to need some epoxy sculpt, milliput, or some other type of epoxy buddy to do this. I mix up the two parts and grab some tissue paper. I put a little tissue in the bottom of the piece and then put the putty on top of it. That way I would use less epoxy sculpt and it would make the cube slightly lighter. Then I just repeated the process for every piece. At this point, if you don't have a belt sander, the only barrel that you're going to be able to make is an octagonal barrel. Basically, you want to sand down the corner and the edge piece that was cut until it's even with the rest of the piece. Then you can just do your final sanding of the pieces and put some spray paint on it, and then you'll be good. However, if you do have a belt sander, you're going to want to take the two top center caps off and put your fingers in between the two pieces and hold it down on the belt sander so it spins around. Basically, you want to just keep doing this until it makes a nice barrel shape. After sanding, you want to disassemble the puzzle for the last time and sand down the pieces for a nice finish. You can round off the edges to make it look nicer, but this adds a lot more time to making the puzzle, and I don't think it's worth it. I just sand down the sides so it takes off any epoxy or plastic, preventing the puzzle from turning well. After that, you can reassemble the puzzle, hit it with a coat or two of spray paint, and sticker and lube the puzzle. I think this turned out pretty well. I took off too much of the plastic on some pieces, but this was my second shape mod and my first cylindrical barrel that I have made. Overall, this puzzle is a good mod to make for beginners and if you have a belt sander, and it looks pretty good if you stick it as well. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and that's all I have for this video. So if you like this video, please click that like button, and if you like my video, subscribe. So thanks for watching. Bye.